Well, hello everybody, welcome back into the kitchen. Today Chox and I are having a little bit of fun because this past year for Christmas we were gifted an Instant Pot by the brother-in-law, which to me is just too funny. I'm learning how to cook things super slow and he's sending us a way to cook it super fast. That is absolutely ideal because today we are working on a massive pumpkin that we were also given and kind of never got around to carving for Halloween or much of anything, but we've gotten to a point where I want to cook the darn thing because those of you who have watched all of these videos are aware of that maple habanero pumpkin spice loaf. Yeah. And you know, pumpkin soup, it's wintertime, it's always soup season, and I want them seeds because I am starting to make plans for the 2019 garden. The seeds are required. So yeah, it's time to dispatch and to deal with this pumpkin, make ourselves some puree, find out what we've got from it using the Instant Pot. Stick around if this is you know, of any interest, and if it's of no interest at all, torture your friends, send it to them in a message. I'll get right back to you. Alright, well, first off, this was a gifted pumpkin, so probably a good idea to give it a quick wipe down. We have decided we are going to peel this before it goes into the Instant Pot, cube it up, so that should be lots of fun. Let me just check my angle here. And, you know, as always with something like this, it's so much easier when you're carving it to make a jack-o'-lantern, right? You can just start stabbing at it, or in our case, shoot at it with the archery equipment. But today, I've never really just like cubed a pumpkin. So, I guess we'll follow Daddy Kirby's basic, you know, take out the top center like you were doing the jack-o'-lantern thing. Carve it from there. Can you see that fairly well? It's not the deepest orange I've ever seen from pumpkin flesh, but that color might develop as it cooks. We shall see. Alright, well, might as well just hack at her. Actually, that looks like it's going to work just fine. So, looking at it, we got quite a few slices of pumpkin out of there. Not quite as many seeds as I was hoping. So I don't know if we'll be roasting them, saving them. I was hoping to do both, but yeah. Cleaning this out should be pretty darn simple. I'm sure we've all done that before. Nice little bowl of pumpkin guts here. So yeah, I'll go through there, pull out some seeds for saving. And probably quite a few of these will end up getting roasted. They don't look, well, a lot of them don't look quite as well developed as I'd like for saving. So did clean up nice and easy though, and I mean clean enough really. And then Chox has just gotten started. We're classic peeler, taking it to the back of the pumpkin here. Pretty straightforward. Woohoo! Look at that pumpkin peel fly. So I can sort of say I did a couple of videos worth of research. I watched at least two. One was Daddy Kirby, and he let his go under pressure for an hour. And then the next one I watched, unfortunately, kind of forgot their name, but they let it go for a whopping 20 minutes, and their pumpkin came out nice and smooth too. I think it was like Frugal Fit Mom or something like that. Anyway, so we're going to go with half an hour, somewhere in the middle-ish, and to make that a little easier, we're cutting these kind of, I don't know, almost like you'd find melon from the store. Maybe, what'd you call that, 1.5 by 1.5?
Something like that.
And we're stuffing this into, I believe you said it was an 8-quart Instant Pot? It's an 8-quart Instant Pot duo, if anybody wants the specifics.
It's a big one.
It's a big one. Anyway, so we've got this pile to work through. We're going to be a few minutes, and we'll get back to you. So it turns out we got a full one and probably another one from that particular pumpkin. So we're going to throw this sucker in here, like I said, for half an hour. And again, on the from the vein of compromise, one went with half a cup, one with a full cup. I'm going with 3/4 of a cup. Pumpkins do have a fair bit of moisture, but this one not exactly a soakered pumpkin. So let's see, get the lid on here for the happy little video game song. Close that up. Now this is the first thing I've cooked with it. Chox has dabbled with this thing a little bit. So let us kind of slide down to see the menu here. Alright, so the steps here are apparently pretty easy. Make sure my little valve on the back is closed so I can develop pressure internally, which is great. Press, pressure, cook. And then that says 15, so I want to go for half an hour here. I don't know, it's probably an easier way, but there we go, half an hour.
Click pressure cook again for high pressure.
For high pressure?
Yeah,
okay, and that's 45, so now I gotta go down. Can I hold it? Alright, rock on. And other things the crock pot will never do for you. And
in 10 seconds it'll start.
There is no start button, just wait.
Wait 10 seconds.
Alright.
It'll beep.
So I guess this sucker is going and working on our pumpkin puree. Gotta love doing things for the very first time. But this thing looks like it's got a lot of fun buttons. Soup, meat, stews, bean, chili, poultry, rice, multigrain. What is that? Porridge over there? Who still eats porridge?
I do.
Okay, but besides you, does anybody besides Chox still eat porridge? Throw that down in the comments below. I'm genuinely curious. Alright, so I guess we'll check back on this thing in half an hour or so and see how our pumpkin looks. So, in the name of full disclosure, 3/4 of a cup is not enough. We got like a 5 beep from this thing, and then it said burn on the front. So a quick check in the bottom there, and a quick check in the manual. Basically, long story short, not enough moisture in the pumpkin, so I added another 3/4 of a cup of water, 3/4 of a cup of water. So we're up to 1.5 cups at this point, and we're going to try this again. But if you can see that the stuff that was on the bottom is already starting to cook fairly well. And even though it says burn, it's not really smelling burnt, it's just needing more water. So, we carry on. Right, so there it goes, it's starting, but just to let you know again with the full disclosure thing, we have also switched it down to low pressure, still for 30 minutes. We'll see how this works. Hopefully I won't get any more like burn messages or, you know, please don't do that, or God only knows what else is going to be on this. But yeah, carrying on, pumpkin puree in the Instant Pot. Take 2, kinda sorta. Okay, well this is finished. It's half an hour cooking. It's had a couple of minutes to sit. I'm just gonna take our silicone gloves here, let that depressurize, then we'll check on that pumpkin in a minute. Okay, well this finally stopped hissing at me, so I think happy song, it's all good so far. That looks like some nicely cooked pumpkin there. That lid safely to the side. Oh yeah. Just press right through it. Fantastic. Should be able to mash that up easy enough. And there's certainly plenty of liquid in there now. So I think I'm just going to scoop this out. Try using that liquid to cook the rest of the pumpkin flesh. And see how it all works out. Yeah, it certainly seems like there's plenty of moisture left in there. So I'm just going to start plunking in the other, hopefully half of our pumpkin chunks. And we'll try this again. Hopefully, without that nasty word of burn in the middle of everything. We'll start mashing this up. See what our final haul is out of that beautiful gifted pumpkin. People around here are so giving with their produce. It's fantastic. Alright. I really did not think this thing would take 2 loads. Kind of thought one would do her. But 2's alright. Not like it's taken long. Alright, so in the spirit of being just, you know, more efficient with my time, I'm going to try blasting through this first bit while that second half cooks. Just got a little hand blender. Oh, that's clearly going to do the job just fine. Nice. Okay, so that took less than a minute, but you know, again, full disclosure, probably would have taken about as long with a potato masher. This stuff was pretty soft. That's kind of impressive, especially for how much of it there is. And that's only half. So let's open this up, take a look at happy little song. Take a look at the second batch that cooked. And oh yeah, there's way more liquid that came out of this stuff. So clearly there was enough in there, but somehow we still got that initial burn. Alright, time to scoop this out and mash it up too. So at the end of the day, how did this work for making a pumpkin puree? Well, I'm going to have to say it worked pretty darn well. And I was initially guessing that we'd get about 4 cups of puree out of that pumpkin. I'm going to have to say I was about as wrong as I could possibly be. Yes, we got a lot more pumpkin to deal with here than I was kind of anticipating. But that's cool. Pumpkin soup, pumpkin loaf, pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin side dish.
Pumpkin side dish. There are definitely options out there. So, wow. Yeah, thank you for joining me as I try and check out this Instant Pot to make pumpkin puree. Now I got a bunch of seeds to sort through and see what I'm going to save up. Hopefully, I'll have some more of these for next year. Alright, thank you for joining me. Have a fantastic day.